Guys, we are back. The internet has been restored, and hopefully my sanity can come back as well. I've never heard a little girl ask for Cocomelon so many times on a day where it just wasn't possible to watch it. Now, that is neither here or there. What is important for this video, though, is AMC earnings, and specifically talking about why AMC earnings were so very bullish, and why I think the stock did not drop 10 to 20% off of AMC earnings, which is a typical reaction that we get after earnings. It's telling you something about the next couple of months, and we have some big blockbuster films that are coming out here very shortly, guys. So let's get into all of this information. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already, and without any further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, guys, so the headline number here with AMC was pretty good, was better than expected. Now, that does not matter. That is not the reason a stock is going to go up or it's going to go down. Specifically, the reason why AMC, besides the short selling, the manipulation, the obvious things that we could sit here and, talk for 20 minutes about, it is because AMC lost money again, and this was no surprise. We were expecting AMC to lose money, but then when it happens, it's seen as this negative headline. But the fact that, like I said, AMC did not drop much more is a very bullish thing, and we're going to talk about the numbers here in just a second, and then we're going to dive into what Adam Aron said on the earnings call and why the stock, I think, is probably actually going to rally over the next couple of days and weeks. So this says AMC Entertainment reports another quarterly loss despite higher revenue. The key point, AMC's revenue increased 27% to $968.4 million as the movie theater chain saw its admissions revenue and food and beverage spending increase. The company's net loss widened slightly to $226.9 million or 22 cents per share. AMC said it sold 14.9 million of its preferred shares called Ape as of Tuesday. Now, I think that is obviously not a great thing that they are selling all of these preferred shares. Also, at the same time, it does give AMC more cash. So it's a bad, good kind of scenario. I don't think the markets really care about that at this point. The markets care about, on a fundamental picture at least, what is going to give us that real reaction out of AMC earnings is profitability or not. The first quarter that AMC can post a profit, it's probably going up 50% the next day. That's just the God honest truth to it, because at that point you do open the door a lot more to potential takeover, right, of Netflix or Amazon or another company could theoretically feel a little bit better taking over AMC. Now, that's what gets us into the bullish scenario that I think is probably going to play out, because like Adam Aron said on the earnings call, and like the headline actually says, is we need more movies. And let's go back to the headline. It says AMC Entertainment CEO says theaters have one problem, and it's not COVID, streamers, or windows. Quote, we need more movies, and AMC is going to get those movies here very shortly. Now, Adam Aron did say, he said let's get his exact quotes here. He says, saying the biggest challenge facing the industry above all else is that movie theater operators need more movies. Quote, at this point, there is only one topic that should be on the tip of all of our tongues, he said during a conference call Tuesday after reporting quarterly earnings. Studios are doing what they can to pick up the pace, and there's considerably progress, but the number of films is still down 20 to 30% from pre-pandemic levels. So saying that AMC is doing the best that they can, there's not much they can do if there's just not movies to bring people in. And that has really been the story over at least the last couple of weeks. I would say 30-40% of this quarter that we just went through really didn't have any movies that really brought people to theaters. There's not really one movie I can think of over the past couple of weeks that has been like, wow, I wish I could go see that movie, or somebody has talked about going to see that movie, right? That XYZ movie. There has not been that movie. Now, in the next quarter, that's where you're going to get some very large films. And that's why I think the markets are looking ahead to this next quarter and potentially seeing a bullish earnings outcome, upon that time. It says Black Panther Wakanda Forever eyes world dominance with $365 million opening. And that is obviously the box office. And I believe this movie does go to theaters starting on Friday. It might actually be on Thursday. You'll get the couple screenings, the limited availability, but on Friday for sure. And they're expecting $365 million for the box office. The last Black Panther movie did $1.3 billion and a triple Oscar winning movie. So it's widely expected that this is going to be another $1 billion+ box office. And that is obviously going to be recorded for this next quarter. So the current quarter that we are in. Now it says there's a very good chance Wakanda Forever could reign well into December when Disney shows up with 20th Century Studios' long gestating sequel, Avatar, The Way of Water, on December 16th. Now, this is only going to be in this quarter, this Avatar movie, for a couple of weeks, but you're going to really capture a lot within those couple of weeks. And potentially, if enough people go to see movies, AMC could actually post a profit if they can keep their operating expenses on, in check, right? If they just don't go out and blow a whole bunch of money, they could actually post a profit. And I think that's what people are starting to look ahead for this next quarter is, hey, we got a bunch of movies coming out. AMC might actually do very, very well. So those are really the big points to point out from earnings. The numbers here, doesn't matter all too much in the grand scope of things. It says revenue was $968 million versus $961.1 million expected. So you even beat as far as revenue was concerned, and the loss per share was still better than expected, a loss of 22 cents versus a loss of 26 cents expected. So AMC again beats, but the shares probably aren't being rewarded in after hours because they still lost money. Now, once you get to the cash open tomorrow, once you actually see stocks starting to trade, I think that's when you could probably see a very bullish reaction, because investors will, like I said, look ahead to the future, what is going to be coming next. Now, let's go ahead and pull up AMC stock over on the Ortex platform and take a look at the option activity for the day. And you can see 21 orders totaling $26.07 million for the day, positive order value of 2. So it was not a very bullish day as far as options. I don't even care about what happened today. I care about the option positioning coming tomorrow. And as you guys know, really heading into November 18th, is going to be a very large option expiration for AMC, over 200,000 contracts on that expiration alone, and a lot of them are focused in between the $5 strike and really the $15 strike. So if we can get a move to the upside, that could actually cause a decent gamma squeeze in my personal opinion. And if you look at the total open interest for calls, it's sitting at 63.5%, and the puts is sitting at 36.5%. So there's obviously a bullish skew here for the next couple of weeks, and that's obviously going to encapsulate the next CPI report. We're hopefully going to get the results, all of them from midterms, to see hopefully if we get a deadlocked Congress, government in general, right? Democratic White House, Senate Republican, and who cares what happens with the House at that point. That's going to be a very bullish thing for the markets. Historically, when the markets are in gridlock, investors like to hear that, because that means Democrats are not going to be able to spend more money and cause more inflation, because Republicans are not going to let that happen as much. Sorry to say, if that sounds political, that's just simply how it goes. Why do you think the stock market performs better when it's controlled by Democrats, the Senate, the White House, the House? It's because they spend more money. Stock market loves that in deflationary times when inflation's not a problem. The stock market hates that when there is a lot of inflation. So That's going to be a very bullish thing for markets if that is the turnout. Now, if we look at the short interest, we're looking at 20.25%. You are looking at about 104.34 million shares that are currently sold short, and the cost to borrow max is spiking here today as well at 44.96%, so pretty much 45%. The cost to borrow average at 23.49%, and the cost to borrow minimum at 14.91%. So those numbers are obviously looking pretty damn good in my personal opinion. Now, as far as economic data that we do have, like you guys already know, you have CPI coming on Thursday at 9:30 in the morning, or 8:30 in the morning, I believe is the actual time. Let's check. It's at 9:30. Sometimes you can get it around 8:30. It's 9:30 for the inflation rate, and that is going to be important. Obviously, the main event of this week, and that's where you're going to see a big move up or down. If inflation comes out good, I do expect at least a temporary multi-week rally in the stock market, because the Fed's probably going to give us a smaller rate hike at that point. And considering AMC's earnings were good, it would not surprise me if AMC stock did rally. And then you also have the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey for November, the preliminary survey coming out at 11 o'clock on Friday as well. That will also be very, very important. Now, as far as earnings that we had today, obviously, you had Norwegian Cruise Line, Workhorse, Walt Disney and After Hours, Oxy, AMC, Upstart, Plug, Lucid, Novavax, Affirm. A lot of these earnings did not do so well, right? Lucid, Disney, some of these shares are not performing that well. Good thing is these are not market moving things, and really there's nothing that's going to affect AMC in a big way, really at all. Tomorrow morning, you have The Trade Desk, Roblox, Canopy Growth, DR Horton, Fiverr, Village Farms, Wendy's, Capri, Rumble, and Ionis. And then Wednesday and After Hours, tomorrow and After Hours, or today and After Hours, depending when you're watching this video, you have Rivian, Digital Turbine, Dutch Bros, Win, Adma Biologics, Unity, Beyond Meat, Celsius, Coupang, and Ring Central, guys. So that is pretty much going to be all for this video right now. As far as the futures market, NASDAQ, the only thing that's green, up about 0.03%. The markets, they're waiting to see what is going on with midterms, and you can see right here, Republican J.D. Vance beats Democrat Tim Ryan in Ohio Senate race. So the markets, they're going to love if more Republicans start to win the Senate, because that is going to mean less inflation. Keep that in mind, and that is going to be a key heading into tomorrow. And this also says one of China's inflation gauges drops for the first time since 2020, and it is the China Producer Price Index fell by 1.3% in October from a year ago, the first decline since December. Can that be a new word? December 2020, according to official data. Now, nonetheless, that's pretty much going to be all for this video. That's really all you guys need to know. That was the meat and bones of at least AMC. You also want to watch TLT to see if that can continue to go up. It was up today about 1%, so that's a very positive thing. The dollar was down about 0.5% as well. That was also a very positive thing, and the markets were super volatile on Tuesday, like absolutely insane. The markets did manage to go up about 0.5% on the NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow went up about 1%, whereas the VIX went up about 5%, which is a very weird move, showing a decent level of fear is still out there in the stock market, and obviously for good reason heading into the CPI report, guys. So that is going to be all for this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video. I will see you in the next.